Chosen one, the reward is here now. This is not just a phrase, not just a line to catch your attention. It is the revelation that your spirit has been quietly preparing to hear for so long. After every storm, every setback, every sleepless night that left your soul gasping for clarity, this is the moment your timeline has been waiting to unlock. And now, here it is, the reward. Not a distant hope, but a present reality. Something has shifted, something has settled, and it's pointing straight at you. Before we go deeper, I want to invite you to be part of this journey fully. Watch this video all the way through, because this message was coded with the energy of fulfillment. And in the comments below, write your warmest wishes. Type 99 and 777 as signals to the universe that you are aligned, awakened, and subscribed to this glory journey. This is not just another moment. This is a turning point, a spiritual signature, a cosmic confirmation that your desires are no longer waiting to be approved. They are arriving. So here we go. No delays, no detours, just destiny. Let's start by being honest. You weren't given the easy path. You weren't handed the map with all the shortcuts. In fact, most of your journey looked like walking blindfolded through chaos, betrayal, and long seasons of silence. But here's what no one saw. While others were sprinting toward things that weren't meant for them, you were growing roots. You were becoming unshakable. And now that the fruit is ready to harvest, only those with real depth can hold it. You are being prepared for a reward that others couldn't even imagine receiving. This moment isn't random. It's recognition. You stayed loyal to your inner voice when logic told you to quit. You kept believing in what wasn't yet visible. That type of faith isn't weak, it's elite. And because of that, a new reality is folding itself around your name. Not in theory, not in symbolic ways, but in practical, tangible, life-shifting forms. A reward that matches the weight of your patience. A reality that respects the currency of your soul. The tables are turning, and for once, it's turning in your favor. What looked like rejection was divine redirection. What felt like delay was actually sacred design. And now the blueprint is activating. Now the doors that refused to open are swinging wide. Not because you begged, but because you became the version of you who no longer needs to knock. You're no longer chasing the dream. The dream is chasing you. That's what this season is, a reversal of energy, a magnetic pull toward fulfillment. You're not striving anymore. You're attracting. You're not hustling just to survive. You're receiving because you're aligned. And the beauty of it, you don't have to prove yourself anymore. Your presence is enough. Your energy carries the proof. And the universe, God, the source, the infinite creator, sees that, honors that, rewards that. And if you've been noticing the signs, the sudden peace in your spirit, the unexpected clarity, the feeling that something big is about to land in your life, you're not imagining it. That's the echo of the reward coming into view. You're not just being blessed randomly. You're being repaid purposefully. For every tear that fell in silence. For every time you showed up when your heart was breaking. For every time you loved when you had every reason to shut down. There's a frequency that's now attached to you, and it's vibrating on the level of favor. Yes, favor. Not luck, not chance, favor. Because luck is external, favor is internal. And you didn't earn it the way the world earns, you activated it through endurance, through obedience to a higher call, through releasing the need to control and learning how to flow. And now because you let go, it's all flowing back to you. You're stepping into a cycle of ease, not because life will never challenge you again, but because you've mastered the challenges. Your reward is not just a thing, it's a state, a new vibration, a new standard, a new rhythm to live by, one that doesn't include begging for crumbs when you were born to feast. This is what "the reward is here now" really means. You don't have to wait until you're perfect. You don't have to wait until everything is organized. You just have to realize it's already started. It's already moving in your favor. The reward is not coming. It's here. It's in motion. It's surrounding you. Every call, every opportunity, every surprise invitation. It's not random. It's aligned with the new frequency you're operating on. Because you finally stopped trying to fit in and started owning who you are. You were never meant to be normal. Your journey was never designed to look predictable. That's why traditional formulas didn't work for you. That's why what worked for others fell flat for you. Because you're chosen. And chosen ones are often forged in silence, misunderstood in public, and crowned in secret. But now, the crown is visible. The silence is breaking. The reward is unfolding in front of everyone who thought you were finished. This is your divine return, the restoration, the repayment, the divine backpay for every spiritual investment you made when no one was clapping. The reward is not a maybe. It's a yes. It's not a theory. It's a manifestation. And the beauty of this moment is that you don't have to force it. All you have to do is remain available, open, grounded, because what's coming has your name written all over it. And here's what's wild. It's not just one thing. It's a sequence, a chain reaction of wins, a cascade of breakthrough moments that will leave you stunned. People will ask what changed. They'll wonder how it happened. And you'll smile, not because you have to explain, but because you'll know. It was time. It was alignment. It was divine order doing what divine order does best: show up right on schedule. And this schedule, it's not man-made. It's not determined by timelines or algorithms or opinions. It's heavenly. And when heaven writes your reward date, nothing on earth can delay it. Nothing. There is a moment in every chosen one's life when the internal shift becomes external reality. When what you've known within your spirit begins to reflect in the mirror of your surroundings. That moment is now. You are not becoming anymore. You are arriving. And this arrival is different. It's not loud or dramatic. It's calm, certain, sacred. This is the kind of reward that doesn't need announcement. It makes its own presence known through the way people treat you differently, through the opportunities that find you, through the sudden flow of answers to questions you've carried for years. It's subtle, but undeniable. It's quiet, but powerful, because it's real. The old cycles are closing. The repeated loops that once kept you circling the same mountain, those loops are done. This time, the reward is not just an external thing. It's the closing of a karmic chapter, the healing of generational wounds, the internal liberation that can no longer be undone. This is why it feels different. This is why you don't have to convince yourself to believe. You just know. Your entire being is responding to a frequency that confirms the wait was not in vain. You may feel an eerie sense of stillness lately, but that's not stagnation. That's the pause right before acceleration. The universe is catching its breath, preparing to rush in with all the things you thought were lost, delayed, or denied. You haven't been forgotten. You've been scheduled. And now, the sequence is active. You don't have to push. You don't have to chase. You don't even need to beg. What is meant for you is finding you in ways that make no logical sense, but total spiritual sense. You are now existing in the space where timelines collapse, where years of waiting can be redeemed in a day, where what was once distant is suddenly at your door. You're not being rewarded because you performed. You're being rewarded because you endured. The universe knows what it cost you to keep showing up. The silent nights, the invisible breakdowns, the quiet faith you maintained even when nothing seemed to change. It all counted. Nothing was wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single moment of doubt. All of it was currency in the divine system. All of it was stacking up behind the scenes, building pressure until the moment arrived when it could no longer be held back. That moment is now. This is why you're noticing the shift in your dreams, your energy, your interactions. You're not who you were even 30 days ago. And because of that, your environment has no choice but to reflect the upgrade. You're stepping into new rooms, not because you forced the door open, but because the room was always meant for the version of you who finally decided to believe again. You are being positioned for visibility, for influence, for overflow. But here's the truth that no one talks about. Receiving the reward requires just as much spiritual maturity as waiting for it did. Because this is not the time to shrink back. This is not the moment to sabotage what's arriving. You have to expand. You have to rise. You have to trust that you're not being handed these blessings by accident. They were assigned to your soul before you even understood their value. So let this be your inner command. I will not fumble what I've prayed for. Let this be the moment where you stop apologizing for your elevation, where you stop second-guessing your worthiness. The reward is not showing up to test you. It's showing up to celebrate you. So celebrate yourself. Honor how far you've come. Remember how many times you could have given up, but didn't. Because now you're stepping into rooms where your name has already been spoken in favor. Your character has gone before you. Your reputation in the spirit realm has created bridges in the physical world. People you've never met are about to open doors for you, simply because they can feel something divine around you, something undeniable, something chosen. And this isn't ego. This is energetic alignment. There's a grace on your life now that cannot be fabricated. There's a weight to your presence that cannot be taught. You've earned it through every moment you chose love over hate, faith over fear, and growth over comfort. And now, those decisions are manifesting as reward, tangible, unmistakable, divine. Watch how things begin to make sense that used to confuse you. Watch how what once felt like a curse now looks like a setup. The pain, it built capacity. The loss, it created room. The delay, it shaped you. And the shaping was necessary because the size of your reward is not average. The scale of what's arriving is enormous. And the only thing that could carry that weight was a soul like yours, refined, ready. So if your life starts shifting rapidly, don't panic. If you're called to let go of people, places, or habits, honor that. The reward doesn't always show up in gold and glitter. Sometimes it arrives in clarity, in detachment, in peace. Sometimes it looks like less, so you can be prepared to receive more. It's not loss, it's alignment. You are not being punished. You're being positioned to carry more light, positioned to attract real love, positioned to manifest wealth, positioned to walk in peace that no storm can disrupt. This is the reward. Not just a moment, but a movement. Not just a blessing, but a birthright that can no longer be denied. So breathe. Breathe into the new. Breathe into the power. Breathe into the freedom of no longer needing to force. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are right on time for everything your soul signed up for. And the reward? It's here. Not because you demanded it, but because you became it. Now that you've stepped into the atmosphere of reward, everything around you will begin to respond differently. Not because you're changing the world directly, but because you've changed the signal you're sending into it. The reward is not only a package of blessings, it's a completely different vibration. One that doesn't operate in fear, scarcity, or delay. One that magnetizes truth, ease, and divine order. You'll begin to notice this in small ways first. The way certain people treat you, the ease with which opportunities appear, the intuition that seems to now guide you with unshakable certainty. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The universe, the divine intelligence that guides all things, is now harmonizing with the rhythm of your soul. And this is only the beginning. What's arriving in this season is not meant to be temporary. It's not a taste. It's a transformation. This is not a lucky break. This is your new baseline. You're being shown what life looks like when the inside finally matches the outside, when the internal alignment produces external abundance. But you must understand, reward does not mean exemption from growth. In fact, true reward always expands you. Now that you are walking in this energy, you will be called to hold it, to live in it, to make it your home. That means letting go of old stories that told you blessings must be hard-earned through suffering. That's a lie you inherited, and it's time to let it go. The truth is, divine favor is not activated by pain. It's activated by alignment. You are now aligned, and because of that, you will no longer need to prove yourself to anyone, not even to yourself. The reward is already evidence enough. You survived the fire. You walked through the wilderness. You climbed every silent mountain that no one else could see. And now you've earned the view. You don't need to explain why you're blessed. You just need to receive it fully, without shrinking. Let the healing happen. Let the success come. Let the love in. The reward is here not just to restore what was lost, but to give you more than you even asked for. And in doing so, it will reveal how small your past expectations were. This is why you had to go through that season of emptiness, not to punish you, but to expand your container. You were asking for miracles in a cup too small to hold them. So life had to pour you out, so it could fill you with something greater. That's the kind of reward we're talking about now. The kind that makes you realize, thank God those doors didn't open. Thank God that relationship didn't last. Thank God I was redirected. Because the thing you are crying for would have limited you, and the thing you're about to receive will liberate you. This is the beauty of divine timing. It never gives you what you want until you become the person who can sustain it. And you are that person now. You are no longer desperate. You are discerning. You are no longer seeking approval. You are standing in identity. And because of that, the universe now recognizes you as ready. That's the real reward. Not the car, the house, the numbers, the applause, but the version of you that finally feels whole without needing anything external to validate your existence. Everything else is just overflow. But the overflow is coming too. Make no mistake, just because you're spiritually aligned doesn't mean you're not about to receive physically. Quite the opposite. The inner abundance makes space for the outer to arrive in divine form. Watch how finances begin to respond, how business begins to grow, how the right people arrive at just the right moment. You are no longer forcing alignment. You are the alignment. And because of that, life is starting to orbit around you in a new way, with reverence, with rhythm. with respect for the energy you've cultivated. The world responds differently when you respect yourself, and the reward is proof that your self-respect has reached a level that can no longer be ignored by you or anyone else. You're being rewarded because you finally said, "I choose me." You finally said, "I am enough," even without the external evidence. And the moment you made that declaration from your core, not your mouth, but your energy, the universe echoed it back with manifestations. Your reality began to shift, not because you tried harder, but because you surrendered deeper. And now, you're seeing what surrender really brings. Not lack, not chaos, but peace, provision, protection, and power. This is not just a reward. This is a return to who you truly are. A remembering of the soul contract you made before this lifetime even began. A fulfillment of promises that were whispered into your spirit in moments you thought no one was listening. The divine was listening. And now, the delivery has arrived. It's safe to trust what's unfolding. It's safe to believe that this good thing won't be taken away. It's safe to stand in the light and know it won't burn you. You've done the inner work. You've dismantled the lies. You've healed what was never yours to carry. And now, the reward isn't just something you're receiving. It's something you're embodying. You are the reward. Your presence, your purpose, your peace. You are the gift. And because you've realized that, life is responding accordingly. So stay grounded, stay grateful, stay aware. Because this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of a new rhythm, a new way of being, a new narrative where you don't have to fight to be seen, because the world will begin to reflect your light back to you. Effortlessly, consistently, miraculously. The shift you're feeling right now isn't a coincidence. It's confirmation. You're not just stepping into blessings. You're stepping into divine alignment with the version of you that was always waiting behind the noise, behind the fear, behind the old story. This isn't about suddenly becoming someone better. It's about finally remembering who you were before the world convinced you to forget. That remembrance is the reward. And when you walk in remembrance, everything changes. The conversations you entertain shift. The standards you tolerate evolve. The decisions you make carry a weight of clarity and sacred purpose. You no longer seek from a place of lack. You choose from a place of knowing. You no longer chase what's shiny. You attract what is true. You no longer settle because you now realize you never had to. That's one of the most powerful parts of the reward. It's not just about receiving what you hoped for. It's realizing you never needed to lower yourself to be loved, noticed, or accepted. The universe was waiting for you to raise your hand and say, "I am enough." And once you did, the energy shifted. Not in theory, but in actual, observable change. The reward is not an illusion. It's a new lens, and with that lens, your vision is becoming razor-sharp. You begin to see things for what they are. The distractions that used to detour you. Now, they appear clearly as noise. The people who once drained you. Now you feel your body naturally repelling them. It's not drama, it's divine discernment. Because the reward cannot coexist with what contradicts your purpose. And the moment the reward arrives, anything that doesn't match it begins to fall away. Let it fall. Let the quiet come. Let the room clear. Let the peace expand. You don't need the chaos anymore. You don't need the confusion. You don't need to entertain what's lukewarm, half-present, or unsure. You are no longer in the season of proving. You are in the season of receiving with precision. And yes, it will feel unfamiliar at first. You've been trained in survival. You've been wired to expect struggle. So when ease arrives, your nervous system might panic. But that's okay. Breathe through it. Let your body adjust to the calm. You are not in danger. You are in deliverance. This is what it feels like when life starts working for you instead of against you. It's not just about what you get. It's about who you are without resistance. That's the deeper reward. A nervous system that feels safe in peace. A soul that doesn't flinch in love. A mind that no longer waits for the worst. A heart that no longer seeks validation from people who haven't even validated themselves. This is energetic sovereignty. This is what the reward brings. Freedom on all levels. And with this freedom comes responsibility. You must protect this new energy. You must honor it. You must choose environments, thoughts, and habits that reflect this new version of you. Because the reward does not live in chaos. It lives in clarity. It lives in boundaries. It lives in truth. And truth, when honored, will always lead to more abundance. So be honest with yourself. If something feels heavy, forced, or out of rhythm, pause. You are no longer obligated to carry anything that costs your peace. You've already paid the price. The reward is the refund, the return, the restoration. Don't trade it away just to keep others comfortable. The season you're walking into requires you to be bold. You will be asked to walk away from almosts and almost theirs. You will be asked to rise when it's easier to stay low. You will be asked to trust yourself, even when the old patterns tempt you to fall back into fear. But if you do, if you stay rooted in this new identity, you will witness a type of life that once only existed in your dreams. You will become magnetic. Ideas will flow. People will recognize you not for your image, but for your energy. You'll speak and doors will open. You'll rest and miracles will move. Not because you forced it, but because you finally become a vessel that no longer leaks power. The reward is not random. It is sacred recognition of your consistency in becoming who you truly are, of showing up in love even when you were unseen, of staying soft in a world that tried to harden you, of choosing healing when harm would have been easier. That kind of strength doesn't go unnoticed by the universe. It is documented, it is honored, and it is now being answered. You don't have to question it. You don't have to second guess. Yes, it's really happening. Yes, you are the one it's happening to. Yes, you can breathe and let it flow. This season is not about striving. It's about allowing. Allowing yourself to be supported, to be uplifted, to be poured into, and most importantly, to be changed from the inside out. Because that's what this really is, a metamorphosis, a total rebirth, a cellular level elevation into a frequency where fear cannot dwell. Your old self cannot survive here. And that's a good thing. This is your rise. This is your return. This is your realm of overflow. And the more you embrace it, the more you'll realize that the reward was never just about results. It was about alignment. It was about wholeness. It was about finally coming home to yourself. There is a reason your spirit has felt a strange combination of excitement and peace lately. It's because your soul already knows. The atmosphere around you has changed. You're no longer standing in front of locked gates. You're standing in front of open doors. And the only thing left for you to do is walk through them. But walking through doesn't mean rushing. It doesn't mean scrambling, begging, or chasing. It means moving with intention, with sovereignty, with the awareness that what's in front of you isn't just a result of hard work. It's the divine echo of your inner work. This reward is the direct reflection of your self-honoring, of your ability to believe even in the absence of proof. And now, the proof is arriving. But here's something you need to understand deeply. This reward is layered. It's not just one thing. It's multiple breakthroughs activating at once. And for the first time, you're no longer afraid to receive. You're no longer questioning if you're ready. Because the version of you reading this now is ready. You've released the need to earn love through exhaustion. You've let go of performing for approval. You've dismantled the idea that you must be broken to be worthy of beauty. And because of that, the blessings are now flooding in. You'll start to notice people treating you like the person you've always known you were. You'll be offered rooms you once couldn't even get into. You'll feel ideas rise up inside you that you know are meant to be built, because they come with peace, not panic. This is when your life starts catching up with your energy. For so long, your reality was lagging behind your identity. You were walking in wisdom, but surrounded by people who couldn't see it. You were acting from purity, but encountering resistance at every turn. That lag created pressure, but it also created capacity. And that capacity is why you can now sustain what's coming. Because anyone can receive, but only the healed can hold. And you, chosen one, are healed enough now to hold the weight of joy. Yes, joy has a weight. Peace has a presence. Blessings require bandwidth. Love, real love, demands space. And because you've done the clearing, the releasing, the shedding, you are now the perfect vessel to hold what others fumble, to carry what others drop, to walk in what others pray for. You are not walking into this new chapter by accident. You are walking in as confirmation. Your life is becoming the evidence, not the theory, not the hope, the evidence that spiritual alignment leads to physical manifestation, that staying loyal to your path, even when lonely, leads to overflow. And with that overflow comes more than just material things. It comes with perspective, maturity, authority. You are not just being blessed, you are being entrusted with wisdom, with influence, with divine timing, and the opportunity to use what you've learned to uplift others. This reward is not just for you, it's also through you. To touch lives, to shift atmospheres, to awaken sleeping souls by simply being who you are. That's the power of your presence now. You don't need to speak to be noticed. You don't need to explain to be respected. You don't need to convince to be trusted. The reward has already validated what you used to try and prove. And here's the best part. This is only the beginning. There are rooms waiting on your yes, connections waiting on your clarity, wealth waiting on your willingness to be seen. All of it aligned, all of it orchestrated, all of it divine. But don't forget, the reward is not a one-time event. It's a new standard, a lifestyle, a frequency you've now become so familiar with that you refuse to live beneath it again. That's the deeper miracle. Not just that you're rising, but that you've remembered you were never meant to live low. So take your time. Don't rush the unfolding. There's no need to grasp. What's meant for you is not just coming, it's already here. It's arrived in your atmosphere. Now it's just about recognition. And the more you recognize, the more you receive. Let your nervous system adjust to this goodness. Let your heart believe that it's safe now. Let your body trust the flow, the ease, the expansion. You are not in danger. You are in destiny. You are not lost. You are being reintroduced to the world, yes, but more importantly, to yourself. And this version of you, it's not temporary. It's not a moment. It's a homecoming. You are finally walking in the fullness of the light you've always carried, and no one can take that away. The reward is not just here now, it's yours now. You are now standing on sacred ground. Not because the terrain beneath your feet has changed, but because you have changed. And with this change comes a powerful realization. The reward is not just a shift in your circumstances, it is a shift in your identity. You have stepped into the embodiment of the promise. You have become the living evidence that alignment attracts abundance. This is what divine elevation feels like. Weightless, yet deeply grounded. Quiet, yet profoundly loud in its impact. There's a stillness within you now, not because everything is figured out, but because you finally know who you are. That knowing is the core of your reward. Everything else is simply matching that frequency. This part of your journey is no longer about climbing. It's about anchoring. It's about standing firm in the light that once terrified you, wearing the crown that used to feel too heavy, and owning the power that once felt too unfamiliar. You have grown into your purpose. You have stretched into your blessing. You have expanded beyond your limitations. Not because you fought harder, but because you surrendered deeper. And now, nothing can unmake you. You've crossed a threshold that few ever reach, the moment where the inner you and the outer you are finally in agreement. There is no longer a war inside, no longer the tug-of-war between your potential and your past. There is only alignment now, and that alignment is magnetic. Watch how people begin to treat you differently. Watch how clarity rushes into areas that were once confusing. Watch how closed doors begin to reopen, not to tempt you, but to prove that you now hold the key. Because the truth is, you became the key. You are no longer looking for permission. You are the permission. You are no longer seeking access. You are the access. And because of that, the reward multiplies. This is the divine formula. When you remember who you are, the universe returns everything that forgot you. It comes back better, fuller, richer, and more aligned. You don't have to reclaim it, it reclaims you. You become the gravitational center of favor, and the blessings rush in without effort. Not because you forced it, but because you finally believed you were worthy of it. And yes, this new season might feel surreal at times. You may look around and wonder, is this really happening? Is it really this beautiful, this peaceful, this effortless? And the answer is, yes, it really is. Because it's not too good to be true. It's too true to be denied. This is what it looks like when you let go of resistance and step into resonance. When you stop performing and start receiving. When you stop hiding and start owning the greatness that was never lost, just waiting to be claimed. The reward is a return to your divine rhythm. And from this rhythm, your life will now unfold. Not in chaos, but in choreography. Steps divinely ordered, timing divinely protected, resources divinely provided, connections divinely aligned, and you walking with grace, authority, and clarity. This new reality comes with a new responsibility: to no longer play small, to no longer shrink in rooms that were built for your expansion, to no longer apologize for the divine light you carry. You were not designed to be hidden. You were not built to play background. You were chosen to rise. And now that you have, now that the reward is active, your only task is to continue becoming more of yourself. The deeper you go into who you truly are, the higher you rise into what you're truly here to do. This is why the rewards will continue, because you are not receiving this all at once. You are receiving in layers, layers of breakthrough, layers of clarity, layers of elevation, and each layer will reveal to you more of what's always been yours. So don't rush the journey. Let it unfold in its rhythm. Let the goodness come in waves. Not because you're being tested, but because you're being trusted. The divine doesn't give all at once to those who are not grounded. But you are grounded now, rooted in self-trust, anchored in your soul's voice, steady in your identity. You are ready, not just for one breakthrough, but for a lifetime of alignment, a lifestyle of overflow, a rhythm of receiving that never burns you out, because it flows from who you truly are, not from who you're pretending to be. And that's the most powerful reward of all. Not the thing, but the you that the thing reveals. So, take a breath, look around, feel the shift. It's real. The reward is here now, and it's not leaving. Because it was never about chasing something outside of you. It was always about remembering something within you. That memory has returned. That truth has awakened. And that reward is now your new reality. And now, chosen one, exhale, you've arrived. Not at the end, but at the elevation. The version of you that once only lived in your dreams now breathes through every moment of your reality. This is not the reward you chased. This is the one that found you when you stood in truth. You are no longer waiting. You are walking in it. The door isn't opening. It's already open. The light isn't coming. It's already shining through you. Let the world witness what favor looks like when it meets preparation. Let your life be the testimony that divine timing is never late. You are not who you were. You are who you were meant to be all along. So stand tall, speak boldly, receive fully. The reward is not just here. The reward is you.